Hello Cancer, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energy and predictions for the sign of Cancer for the end of April. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and get into this reading for you here. So the timeline on this reading will be for the last week of April, call it April 21st, all the way to May 12th. The reason I chose May 12th is that is the full moon in Scorpio. So we'll be taking a look at the last week of April and a little bit into May. So we'll see what is ending now for you here, or beginning. It just depends. We'll go ahead and get all the cards set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. All right. Cool. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom, you have the Hanged Man or the Hanged One in this deck. So the Hanged Man, this can represent, you may be feeling like you're in a kind of state of inaction, okay, with the Hanged Man. You may feel like right now you need a lot of time to contemplate or sit on something in your life. You can see that this person is sort of contemplating the universe, contemplating their situation, their existence, whatever it may be. Depends on how deep you want to get, but you can see the halo around them. They are gaining enlightenment. They're also wearing this sort of like monk's robe as well. And so it can be associated with meditation in the tarot. But if you look here, they're upside down. They are viewing their situation in an alternative way, right? They're viewing a situation in a different way, or even the world in a different way. And so if you're dealing with a problem, right, that you're looking to solve here, Cancer, you may want to try to flip it on its head a little bit and see if you can come up with a different approach or a different way of looking at the situation. And that could help you come up with a solution, right? That could help you come up with a solution. You may feel like you're a little bit in limbo, but you won't be for a while, I will tell you that much. It may just mean that like you're coming out of a period of time here where things weren't moving or things were a little stagnant, but you're really ready to embrace some change, because there's definitely some change here coming for you looking at this, just taking an overview here of this reading. This is very positive though. You're ultimately going to have a nice outcome here, it seems. So for many of you, this feels like it's in career situations for sure. We do have one Pentacles card, but we have mostly Wands. So we've got 1, 2, 3 Wands cards. And then some major arcanas as well, 1 Cups card. So this is going to be predominantly career, but I'll try to bring in messages for everyone if I can. Now, in the overall situation here, you do have the King of Wands. Love to see this for you here in the overall situation. This person really is, you could kind of say like the King of Wands is living their best life. And the reason I say that is they never have to be in a job. If they want to be in a job, they're there because they want to be there, not because they have to be there. And the reason being is this is a high skill card. Okay, this is the most skilled person in the room, typically, when you get the King of Wands card. And so many times the King of Wands can be associated with entrepreneurship or self-employment, sole proprietor type of energy, because they don't need to work for someone. They could just start a business because they have that much talent, right? And this is a very good sign when you get the King of Wands. This is somebody who's also adventurous in life, okay? They're fun to be around, just like the Queen of Wands. And they're really fun to work with. And so you may have those traits about you, but you may also be recognizing the talent that you have. Also notice the flame here on the wand. You can think of that as like your passion really being lit and you really, really investigating your passions at this time. So maybe this is what you are taking your time on here with the Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck. Maybe you feel like you need a moment to really connect with the flame, so to speak, in your life. In the first column, you have Justice, 8 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. Okay, love this energy for you. So the Justice card, first and foremost, I think you're going to be getting some pretty quick communication here. And, the Justice card is about getting the outcome you deserve in life. All right? The Justice card is about your karma. Karma is your actions in life. That's it. It's your accumulation of actions. And the scale tips here, you can see the scale on the Justice card in either direction, depending on what choices you make in life, the actions you make in life. And for you, it feels like there is a karmic outcome here happening. And this is very much due to you, because you have taken the right choices in this situation. You've made the right choices, you've made the right actions here in your situation. With this Justice card, and then the Eight of Wands indicating, the Eight of Wands is a card of breakthroughs. It's the clouds clearing, it's accelerated motion, it's things moving ahead for you in your life. But really, the Eight of Wands, it represents information coming in. So this could be phone calls, text messages, letters, emails, social media posts, all of that sort of thing when you get the Eight of Wands. And so I see, it seems like you've been working, you've been striving towards something, you've been hoping that if I do X, Y, or Z, I will get this outcome or I'll get this result, and here it is with the Eight of Wands showing up right below the Justice card. Very positive. What I'll say is you have a lot of communication here to close out the month of April and then into May as well with the Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Both cards indicate communication. This is going to be in your business, the business area, the career area of your life, if this is for you. If you're not working anymore, by the way, pages are messengers. If you don't watch a lot of readings or you haven't seen my readings before, pages are messengers, right? So communication in both cards can be found with the Eight and the Page of Wands. By the way, if you're not working, it feels like maybe some of you are thinking, what can I do to light the spark in my life? What can I do to light the spark in my life? Like, I need to get out of the house, right? I need to get out of the house. I need to do something, different, right? So some of you may be getting inspired, right? It's about lighting the flame in your life and getting inspired to do something. Page of Wands is a great card if you're looking for a job. It's a job opportunity potentially. So, or a career opportunity. I really feel like this is on the table for some of you, and even there may be some money attached with this. Obviously, if it's a job offer, you're going to be signing off on a contract. Okay, you have the Seven of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles in the middle column here. The Ace of Pentacles, I love that that's next to the Page of Wands. By the way, this bottom row is very interesting to me. The bottom row is something you don't see. It could be your dreams. Okay, the symbols and messages that come in your dream world, in the subconscious, the lower row, but it can also be something that you don't see or something that it's something that you don't see coming, something that's hidden. There's an unexpected situation here happening for you, and this is very positive, okay? I hope that you take away from this reading that tarot is really about how you interpret it and what you make of tarot, because the Tower in this case is actually very, very important, and it's a very positive sign to see the Tower in this bottom row with these cards. We'll get into that in a second, but the Ace of Pentacles is a financial seed being planted here that you're probably planting. It's a financial offer or a seed or something that in this case is very, very exciting with all of these wands around the Eight of Pentacles. It's a card that can indicate you signing off on something when you get the Ace of Pentacles. So financial documents, right? So this could be a job offer. I think for many of you, you're going to be signing a contract here with the Page of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. It also is associated with like real estate, if that's something that you're interested in. I think some of you may also have a business idea here. I don't really see a ton of collaboration. It's almost like I think some of you are going to be doing this on your own. If you are looking to be an entrepreneur or start your own thing, you'll probably be doing this on your own. We'll see in the clarifications if there's any like collaboration showing up. You also here have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups can indicate feeling a little overwhelmed, which I think in this case is probably good. Good that the Hanged Man is on the bottom, because the Hanged Man's not overwhelmed. They are contemplating, and they're maybe even processing or working through the overwhelming feelings. through meditation or a practice like that. In the final column, you have the Emperor, the Empress, and the Tower. Wow. So Emperor and Empress, these are counterparts in the tarot. Okay? And so there may be a love situation here for some of you. This would be somebody that is very much like, what do you call it? Power couple? Yeah, like a power couple in the tarot. The Emperor and the Empress, that is the power couple in the tarot. And so you're probably already involved with this person. You may already be married to this person. Or if you're looking to manifest a relationship, this may be something that you're interested in. But you're probably already involved with this person. This could also be, since we don't really have love messages here, it could very well mean that you are starting a partnership with somebody in business, even though I said that you're probably solo. The inclination for you is probably to go solo, but there may be somebody else here as well in your situation that can maybe support your growth or support your business in some way. The Empress is a major card of abundance. It's all about fertility. And when you get the Ace of Pentacles and the Empress, there is fertile ground available to you, okay, to really, really plant something that blossoms into your life. And you can think of this as like the Empress is also nurturance, right? So how a mother would nurture their baby into life, you can attach that or apply that to a business context, right? Like you could be treating your business like a baby, right? You're really, really hatching it, so to speak, or seeing it grow, so to speak. And the Emperor is somebody who's wildly successful in business. Okay, they're wealthy. It's big boss energy. They're wildly successful in business, and so it's also somebody who's very authoritative. Okay, they act with authority. Okay, they know what they're talking about, and when the Emperor speaks, people listen. Okay, so finally the Tower. Right, I almost skipped over that because I mentioned the Tower. Well, in this case, the Tower is just a shock. It's a surprise. And remember, you have to look at the supporting cards in tarot. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles, King of Wands, and the Empress is around this Tower card, this Tower, okay? So for you, you may be pleasantly surprised by the offer that's coming in. Or there may be some ability to take on money from a lender. Maybe I'm thinking like to raise even like seed money or to get an investor, something like this here with the Ace of Pentacles in the Tower. You may be very surprised that somebody's interested in whatever it is that you're doing. By the way, there's a fertility symbol here as well with the Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Tower. Unplanned pregnancy, maybe. Or if you've been trying and it hasn't been working, you could be pleasantly surprised with the Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Tower, okay? So that's also maybe on the table for some of you who are looking for that. All right, let's go ahead, Cancer here, and let's take a look at clarifying the situation even more. We'll pull some Oracle cards here, and we'll see what is coming forward for you. All right, we've got the first card here. We'll take these two, and I guess we're gonna take that one and this one. All right, energy on the bottom, remain positive. Okay. I don't feel like, based on this reading, there are any issues around your mindset, okay? There may be something that is overwhelming for you here with the Seven of Cups in the row of your thoughts. This upper row is the row of your thoughts. You may be overwhelmed around something, but I don't see negativity here, okay? I don't see an inclination to dip into negativity here. Especially Wands is like a optimism, happy-go-lucky, Sagittarius type energy. Okay, that's what this is, Cancer. You have that energy here. A year from now and unlikely. Interesting. Was not expecting that. Here's the deal with this Oracle deck. Sometimes I don't use it because in these general readings, it is very, very hard to wrap down a timeline. So when I see this a year from now, it may mean that it just takes a little bit of time to unfold. And see, this is what I'm saying. Then you also have success and helpful people. So this is more in line with the initial card pool. Okay, success and helpful people. And I was even saying like I was looking for signs of maybe collaborating. So some of you actually might be doing this here with helpful people. This counterpart energy of the Emperor and the Empress. So we'll try to get some more messages on a year from now and unlikely. But right now I'm thinking that this success and helpful people is more in line with the reading. Now, what I will say, we'll leave these cards out here. What I will say, it's interesting that they fell on, let's see this. Actually, it's interesting that the Moon and the Five of Swords fell on a year from now and unlikely. All right, so the Moon is maybe something that's hidden from view or something that you can't see. The Five of Swords may be a loss or a challenge or a defeat. Okay, so what's happening here is potentially what's going on with this a year from now, unlikely. You may get an initial denial, okay? You may get an initial denial on something that you're looking for, but the outcome here is success with the Emperor and the Eight of Wands and a surprise, okay? So the outcome here is success, but you may have a roadblock on the path that you're looking towards going. Let's pull some additional messages here. Now, Cancer, I do appreciate you spending your time with me. Thank you so much for being here. Hope things are going well for you. And we'll get into the tarot clarifications now. So you have the Four of Pentacles. You have the Tower again, okay. And the Four of Swords. All in divine timing, Cancer. All in divine timing. I always like to say you can't hack divine timing. Okay, you cannot hack divine timing. And with the Tower, again, the Eight of Wands, it's a positive tower in this reading. Surprising communication, surprising outcomes here, surprising breakthrough. Like maybe something is happening at a speed that you weren't expecting, okay? And maybe this whole idea a year from now, I do also say that this could have been a year ago as well when I get this card. And it may be like you've gone through a period of rejection and now here you are, right? You're coming out of this energy. Four of Pentacles and Four of Swords, there is something about stability here that's very important, okay? King of Wands is not really interested in stability. They're cool, they're fine being like in an unstable situation or an unstable situation. Okay, they'll adapt. They'll make the best out of whatever it is that's in front of them. But there's something around stability here with the double fours that maybe you're looking to achieve. Maybe this is like, okay, I've been renting places for however long. And now I want to have my own place that I own. Like I want to post up. I want to set up in a place for however long. With the Page of Wands and the Four of Swords, it's sort of like, again, you cannot force the offer to come in. You can do what you can to get up to that point, but you can't force the offer to come in, you know? So, this is a card of rest as well. So something along those lines may be happening here. You have the Hermit, you have the Seven of Wands, and the Six of Cups in the middle column clarification here. All right. Okay, so one thing that is for sure that I see in this reading is there's this like push-pull that I'm feeling from you around like wanting to have other people involved and wanting to be around people, and then also wanting to be alone and having your space. Some of you need your own space, okay? But there's this like push-pull dynamic here where you sometimes crave the connection and the interaction with others and maybe even the collaboration. And then at the same time, you also need time to process. The Hermit and the Hanged Man are both cards indicating potential like isolation or like even elimination, meaning like, okay, if there's a habit or there's something that I'm doing or if there's a person in my life that's not supporting me, I'm going to remove that and I'm going to see what my soul is telling me to do. I'm going to see what my heart is telling me to do. And so with the Seven of Cups and the Hermit, the way that you work through this overwhelming, maybe you have like overwhelming thoughts or there's a lot on your plate, is going to be taking some alone time, okay? Creating some personal space here may be very, very important for you. You then have the Seven of Wands as well, which is all about standing your ground. And if there's something that you really, really believe in, fighting for that. Okay, fighting for that. And setting a boundary even. If you need to set a boundary with somebody, King of Wands, Seven of Wands, for sure. This is in career. Okay, this is in career. Okay, you have the Six of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Six of Cups represents the past. Okay, it's a call to the past. It's very clear that you've been waiting for this situation to resolve or to happen for a long time with the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Maybe you've had the seed in your mind for a while. and it feels like you're close, but you're not quite there yet, maybe. It's hard to say exactly when. Again, the timing in these generals are really, really hard to wrap down. But yeah, it may take some. I feel like you've been in this thing for a while, and it may take a little bit longer. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, you have the 10 of Wands here. You have the 6 of Wands, okay. And then you also have the 3 of Wands, okay. Amazing tower. This is probably one of the best towers I've seen in a tarot reading, the double towers here that we have. Because sometimes it can really stress people out. But with this tower, this first tower here, you now have the 3 of Wands, which is growth and expansion into something. Okay, the 3 of Wands builds on the potential of the 2 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands now takes action in an expansion into something. Okay, so this person's successful. They're successfully expanding into something. And they're also an adventurer. It's also about partnerships and collaboration. So this is a very interesting one in Cancer, in that there's this desire to collaborate on a business idea with someone, but also this desire, maybe you're not entirely sure, like, you maybe see the cost benefit here where, like, okay, this is what would happen if I go solo on this. This is what would happen if I bring this person in. Okay, and it's very specific, but that's happening here. Maybe you already own a business and you're looking to take it to the next level with this idea of like expanding into something, and you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to bring in another person. I'm going to bring my first employee on board, or I'm going to bring on a new contract or a collaboration, something like this here. 6 of Wands, another card of success in the tarot. This says that you've overcome a challenge and you're now being rewarded. Okay, and there's a success here on the table. And 10 of Wands, you're ready to do the hard work and you're ready to complete something. In fact, you've already probably completed something, or it's showing up here. But the 10 of Wands says you are experienced. One thing's for sure is you have experience in whatever this topic is, with the 10 of Wands and the Emperor. And typically when you speak, Cancer, people will listen to you in this case. So don't be afraid to assert your knowledge on this, because it seems like, based on the reading, that you know what you're talking about, for sure, with the 10 of Wands and the Emperor. On the bottom, you have the King of Pentacles. Look at your habits and your routines at this time. Going to be very important. Okay, the Emperor, King of Pentacles, if I said Emperor. The King of Pentacles has become successful because of their routines, habits. Yeah, their successful routines and habits. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and take a look at what's in the Kipper energies here for you. All right, so you have concern, courtship, high honor, mature woman, coffin, and wealthy man. I see that there was maybe a painful ending here in the past. This is maybe influencing this idea of like remaining positive. Maybe you've had setbacks in the past, but there's like new energy here. There's breakthrough energy, and there's even surprises available to you here in the future. So I think this is why this is coming in. High honor, yeah, this is like tripling down, not just doubling down, but tripling down on this idea of you being knowledgeable in something, an expert maybe even. And leaning into that at this time. You then maybe, some of you do have an investor available with wealthy man, or you are looking to get there. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Okay, this is just a wealthy person. Maybe you're looking to get there, or you're already there, but you see the path to that if you're not there. On the timing end, you do have distant horizons. This can indicate 1 to 3 months in the future in this Oracle deck. All right, Cancer, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.